Before we get started, I just wanted to quickly thank you guys for blowing up this video in particular on the channel over these past few weeks. This one in particular, I think, is a big reason why the channel's been growing. I guess the popularity of Chainsaw Man has been basically causing people to seek out information on particular merch, and I guess this is one video that just ended up blowing up almost at 200,000 views, which is insane because it's just a video of me talking about, about updated images of the Figma Denji and getting the damn dog's name wrong. Yeah, I keep calling it Pochita. I guess it's supposed to be Pochita. I'm a dumb white guy, okay? We get pronunciations wrong all the time. I'll try to do better, don't worry. But again, just wanted to thank you guys for helping the channel grow here lately. With that out of the way, we have some brand new images of the Figma Power that is going to hopefully be on pre-order very soon. With all these images that we get here, it's a common trend that the pre-orders will be coming up really soon, probably this weekend. I could be wrong, but I'll try to update this video as best as I can in the comments and in the description if pre-orders drop. So all these images here are from Toy News. I unfortunately have been trying to find some more high definition images from other sites, including ones that are based in Japan that maybe would have a more direct source there, but I just can't find anything besides Toy News International, and these images are not the greatest quality, so I apologize for that. But as you can see here, we have some new images of a bunch of stuff, pretty much everything that the Figma Power is going to come with. You've been looking at this image for a while. She does come with Meowy, and that is a good thing. A lot of us speculated that there's no way they wouldn't give us Meowy. Maybe not with the SH Figuarts one, but the Good Smile one will definitely give us Meowy. So confirmation here, that is a good thing. Another thing we knew about in a Good Smile live stream, I think a little over a week ago, they brought out the Power Figma and they showed off the Blood Hammer here. As you can see, there is going to be a hole in the Blood Hammer so you can peg in this really long adjustable stand. And this thing can carry her weight, which is really insane. It gives you an idea of some of the dynamic range of motion you can get out of this figure as well. Her knees look a little distracting. They would look way too more like discs and just very circular. I've talked about this before in the past with this particular figure. The separation of a certain gappage going on around her waist and stomach, where the stomach meets the unkept part of her shirt, the untucked part, I think is a little distracting, but those are just some nitpicks. And again, that what a lot of us are calling the diaper piece, similar to Denji's, it's a little bit ugly here. I don't think it looks as bad here as it did on Denji. So that's, I try to give credit where credit is due with these, these Figma figures here. We do have another image here. This is just Power and Denji fighting, all posed up to fight. Looking really cool. We do have a bit of a distracting hole in the back of this figure, but that's going to be like that with basically every Figma figure. They are designed to have holes in the back for the adjustable posing bases. It's kind of the name of the game when you're collecting from Figma at this point, so I expected that. One thing is that she does have an articulated hair piece, very similar to the character Lena from '86. The SH Figuarts figure, we never got a Figma of that. But that figure has a ball hinge hair piece in the back of her hair where it does swivel in some areas, so you can make it hinge up and down or hinge side to side. I believe that's going to be a similar thing with Power here. It's kind of similar also to the Figma Rider from Heaven's Feel, where there's actually a soft plastic overlay on that articulated hair piece, but because of that soft plastic, it does weigh down the hair on that figure. So I guess they decided not to do it here and focus more on actual posability and keeping a pose instead of aesthetics, which honestly I'm okay with. And we do have an image of her holding her smaller Blood Hammer there. We have this particular standing pose here with one of her elbows sticking out. Looking pretty good. I don't know what's going on with this strand on the right side of her face, but there's like a crease or some kind of like paint scuff there in the promotional image, or something's going on with that hairpiece. I don't know what that is, but I don't think it's supposed to look like that, and I don't remember it looking like that in the manga or the show, so they don't really know what's going on there. But you could see just how the figure stands. We do have some decent details on this figure, buttons on the white shirt as well as on her jacket and all that, wrinkles in certain areas, as well as the shoes I think are nicely detailed as well. And we also have this image here of her posed up with her clawing hands like in her introduction. So that's fun. One thing, I'm panning down on this image, but one thing you will see is that this figure comes with a much larger base than normal, which is a good thing because if we had a bit of those smaller like trapezoid Figma stands trying to pose this, excuse me, with the hammer, yeah, that thing's going to fall over. So this more perfect hexagonal shape here is going to keep that stable when you're doing poses like that. And it's just going to be a nice stand for power to stand on. So that's pretty cool there. And speaking of the blood hammer, they did measure this out. It looks to be 15 centimeters, which is pretty big. You kind of get to see where the hole is there. And this could be the, quality of the image not being too great, but it does look like the hole is not too visible, which is a nice, if we see this in person and that hole is not too noticeable, even though it still works, I think that's really cool how that made that work. But I have a good feeling it's going to be pretty visible, and the fact that it's just a not great quality image. I don't think the hole in there is going to be a deal breaker, I'm trying to say. But if they were to, make it look not that bad, I think that's going to be pretty sick. Another thing that we have here, Toy News Eye listed these as blood spears. These look more like swords to me. I just cannot, off the top of my head, remember when she used this in the manga. She definitely hasn't gotten to this in the show, I believe, just yet. So I can't tell you if these need to be more detailed or not with particular details. What I can tell you is that we already know we got gripping hands because we have gripping hands for the hammer, and they're going to work for these blood swords here. And that's pretty cool. We have a really good amount of accessories in terms of blood stuff and hands in general too for power. And we also have this pose here with her and the blood scythe. So we already, I'll show off the third face in a second, but we already know that we have a more smiling, teeth exposed face as well as an open mouth face. But also the blood scythe here looking really nice. This figure is going to come jam-packed with stuff and is probably going to be very, very expensive, unfortunately. Now, here is our good little cat Meowy right there, looking really nice. Now, this Meowy here has closed eyes and it's just posed in a way where it's just being carried, which is fine, of course. I do wish we got another Meowy that looks more like it's sitting or perched up or whatever with a little bit more open eyes. But the fact that we are getting Meowy is still really nice, even though a lot of us expected that. It looks pretty nicely painted and detailed. You can maybe use that cat for other figures as well. For toy photography, you kind of get an idea of how that hinge looks with the hair. I don't like that it's super duper exposed. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait and see just overall if, the fact that ball joint for the hair is so exposed, if it's worth it in the end, because it kind of just breaks up the sculpt just a little bit too much. But everything else about this right now looking not too bad. Last face I do want to show off is this face, and it's kind of hard to see, but she does have some sweat droplets on the face here. It's a much more open, not by a lot, but a significant amount. The mouth is a lot more open than the previous open mouth face, and we do have some open, sprawled, expressive hands there. You can kind of see, again, whatever's going on with the... Is that some kind of paint chip in that strand in her hair right there? That doesn't look all that great, so I don't know why they kept that in the promotional images when you're trying to make it look as good as possible to sell to people. So I don't really know what's going on there. But we do have the full spread of accessories here. So you get the figure, you get the adjustable posing stand there that we get with a lot of Figmas, and then we have a much wider base this time around. However, we also have a very long, really just an extra pivot in there, a longer posing neck there, as well as the blood hammer. You do get some different faces, 3 faces all together. You get Meowy, looking kind of dead in this image, which is kind of funny. The blood swords, as well as the hammer, and a bunch of different hands, including gripping hands, open, expressive, like action hands. Looks like peace sign hands, and then some claw making hands, like when she introduced herself. So we get pretty much everything you need for Power here. But with Power and Denji, I think they both needed a neutral expression, just for particular posing options, because you can really only make them, either stick their mouth or tongues out, and their mouths open, I should say, or like gritting their teeth. Power, I don't think is going to look as bad as, Power looks a lot like what these faces have a lot. Whereas Denji, he does have a neutral expression sometimes. He does make those faces that he comes with, but I just think that they kind of dropped the ball with not including a neutral expression. Here, I can kind of go without it. And I do think that this is going to be more of a closer toss-up between which one to get, either the SH Figuarts or the Figma one. It looks like Figma does have SH Figuarts beat a little bit with their accessories, but we don't entirely know yet because the SH Figuarts and Tamashii Nations have not released official images of the SH Figuarts Power yet. So we're going to have to wait and find out to see. I will most likely get both, just like how I might be getting both Denjis, just to compare them and see, just which one is better. But either way, articulated Chainsaw Man figures are still coming, and I'm hoping we get a more varied cast of characters, hopefully soon, from either, Tamashii Nations or Good Smile. I'd love to see some more characters get made. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What do you think about today's reveals and news? Let me know down in the comments below. My source is down in the description below as well, and I will see you guys later.